The first episode attempted to establish momentum right from the start by throwing Lin Dong into a fierce battle mere seconds after his appearance. What should have been an opportunity to showcase his newfound strength, mindset, and strategic maturity instead became a baffling spectacle. Without any prior build-up, without cause or conflict, the battle erupted out of nowhere. Half an episode was consumed by flashing lights and roaring impacts, yet none of the exchanges carried meaning. Instead of feeling the thrill of combat, viewers were left confused. Comments flooded in asking why the fight started so abruptly, why the opposing side was attacking at all, and why a supposed test of strength was treated as a drawn-out, overly dramatic showdown. The choreography relied entirely on special effects to create excitement, but without emotional lead-in or logical progression, those effects became hollow. The audience quickly realized that they were not watching a conflict between characters. They were watching spectacle for the sake of spectacle. Then came episode 2, where the group attempted to steal the life and death reincarnation pill. This was a scene that should have carried intelligence, tension, and teamwork. Instead, it unfolded with a series of bewildering decisions that made the entire segment feel like a parody of itself. Lin Dong flew to the pill furnace entrance and then simply stopped, hovering in place without urgency. The villains appeared and began randomly slashing at the chains, causing the entire furnace to plunge toward the lava below. Meanwhile, Lin Dong's companions floated nearby, as if they were uninterested spectators rather than allies in a high-stakes mission. Only at the last second did they stage a showy rescue, pulling the pill from the molten pool like a magic trick performed for applause, rather than part of a coherent narrative. Even more confusing was the extended moment where the entire group circled the pill furnace repeatedly, contributing nothing to character development or plot advancement. It was a visual loop, a scene that spun its wheels for far too long, making viewers feel as though the episode was intentionally padded to fill runtime. The pacing, devoid of rhythm and direction, drained the excitement out of what should have been a sharp, clever heist sequence. At the core of the criticism lies the collapse of Lin Dong's character portrayal. By the time of the Hundred Dynasties War, Lin Dong should embody a level of maturity reflecting his Nirvana realm experience. His decisions should be calm, calculated, and grounded in growth. Yet these 2 episodes reduced him to someone who charges recklessly into meaningless brawls and gestures theatrically during critical missions. Every movement seemed scripted rather than natural, every expression a recycled animation template rather than a reflection of inner emotion. The Lin Dong presented in these episodes lacked the intelligence, perseverance, and resilience that defined him in the novel. Instead of showcasing his evolution, the anime seemingly stripped him of his hard-earned maturity. The supporting cast fared no better. Their motivations were vague, their actions illogical, and their presence unsubstantial. The villains felt like cardboard cutouts whose sole purpose was to trigger fight scenes and special effects displays. They lacked menace, presence, and narrative function. Their decisions made little sense, reducing them to tools without personality. The companions around Lin Dong likewise drifted through scenes with little engagement, reacting passively even in moments where the stakes should have demanded urgency and teamwork. Another major point of viewer frustration lies in the dialogue. In a modern Chinese animation market where series like A Record of a Mortal's Journey to Immortality demonstrate how refined writing can elevate even slow-paced episodes into captivating experiences, shallow dialogue has become especially unforgivable. Yet Martial Universe Season 6 fell back into outdated habits. Characters exchanged lines that felt childish, simplistic, and devoid of nuance. Conversations moved nothing forward. Not the plot, not the relationships, not the tension. Words were spoken merely to fill space, leaving scenes empty of emotional impact. As Chinese animation continues to improve, audiences have become increasingly discerning. They want more than glossy effects. They want meaningful storytelling, careful pacing, and emotional resonance. Kang Yuan 2 introduced a unique art style paired with tight narrative design, while Mortal's Journey gained praise for its subtle storytelling, slow but steady character development, and coherent world building. These works demonstrate that the market has shifted. Viewers crave substance, yet Season 6 of Martial Universe clings to an old model. Flashy moves, bright effects, loud clashes, and minimal narrative cohesion. Instead of evolving with the industry, it presents scenes reminiscent of early-era Chinese animation, where surface-level intensity was expected to compensate for storytelling weaknesses. But today's audience no longer accepts such shortcuts. They want battles with purpose, tension with build-up, dialogue with meaning, and characters with depth. When a story fails to deliver these fundamentals, no amount of explosive visual flair can hide the emptiness beneath. The disappointment surrounding the first 2 episodes stems not from isolated mistakes, but from a broader failure to respect narrative integrity. What should have been a powerful climactic arc instead feels like a collection of disconnected scenes stitched together without logic or emotional foundation. The Hundred Dynasties War deserves polish, intensity, and sophistication. Yet the execution so far has been chaotic, mechanical, and uninspired. For fans who have followed the series through multiple seasons, watching Lin Dong's journey unfold has always been about more than battles and special effects. It has been about growth, challenge, emotion, and destiny. But in these 2 episodes, that heart is missing. Without it, no amount of visual spectacle can fill the void. Whether future episodes can redeem the season remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: audiences today seek depth, coherence, and meaningful storytelling. And unless Martial Universe Season 6 adjusts its direction, the criticisms it faces now will only continue to grow. And so, as the dust settles on these first 2 episodes, the controversy surrounding Martial Universe Season 6 serves as a reminder that dazzling effects alone can no longer carry a story. Audiences today want passion, logic, emotion, and thoughtful progression. Elements that give weight to every strike, every decision, every turning point. Whether this season can recover its momentum and recapture the heart of Lin Dong's journey remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: viewers are watching closely, hoping the series will rise to the standard that modern Chinese animation has already proven it can reach.